Always great to catch up with this guy, former Red Bronson Arroyo. Good to see you. You're back in town for a little while. Kind of take us through the last couple of years for you. I was there for a while with the Diamondbacks, and I know that was a really disappointing season because you pitched so well, and then the Tommy John surgery.
Sure. Yeah. I signed a 2-year deal with those guys. Had to leave this city because, it was just that time in my career. It was contract-wise, just needed to go somewhere else. And I got off to a good start. We got off to a terrible start though as a team. Yeah. And I was pitching well. I was 7-4. My ligament in my elbow was gone for the last 6 starts, and I just couldn't go any further. So had surgery, and haven't pitched since then. So it's been it's been a slow recovery and been a little disappointing because you never want to sign a 2-year deal with the team and not give them what you feel like they're worth. And I didn't get the opportunity to do that.
You'd never been on the DL ever, and a long road back. What's been the most frustrating thing, and what have you learned about yourself through the whole process?
Yeah, it's just been an exercise in patience, really. And you realize how much abuse the body actually takes when you're healthy. Because after breaking down and having surgery and coming back and throwing and having to basically whittle out all the aches and pains in the elbow, it's just taken such a long time. You realize how much force you're actually putting on your arm, even when you're only throwing 80 to 85 miles an hour. And so it's just been, other than that, it's been basically the same because I go to the ballpark every day. I train every day pretty much year round. So none of that has really changed. It's just I haven't been able to compete. And it's been, it gets frustrating watching your teammates go out there and being able to do it for such a long time and not being able to compete against other guys.
Yeah, that would be the strangest thing because you're such a competitor. So do you make the rehab a competition with yourself? Does that fill the void at all?
A little bit. I think you pick dates that you think you're going to get to certain plateaus, and it's like I want to be playing long toss by this date, and I'd like to throw bullpens at this date, and when you don't get there and you don't eclipse them, you just keep pushing the number up higher, and you constantly are making a new goal for yourself. But it's the mindset you have, I think, to kind of. To be an athlete at a high level, you're going to have to constantly be kind of challenging yourself, and you're doing that in this rehab, and sometimes you fail, and you just pick the pieces back up and keep going.
D-backs sent you to Atlanta and then quickly to LA. What's your status right now? What is the immediate future for you?
Yeah, so I went to the Braves for 5 weeks, got shipped out to the Dodgers, kind of a strange year, and I finished up in the instructional league there with the Dodgers, throwing some bullpens, couldn't quite get pain-free. And so I've just got some rest now, going to come back, try to have a normal off season and see where we're at. The Dodgers have to make a decision on an option I have for 2016 by the end of the World Series. And once they do that, I'll either be a Dodger or, I'll be looking for a job in a new city.
You'd look awfully good in a Reds uni again.
Yeah, I know. I'm back in this town, and it's, it's always fun to see familiar faces, to know the roads, to go into the ballpark and see the clubhouse guys, and, just surroundings you've been around for close to a decade. It makes you feel at home. And, Brian Price is probably my favorite, pitching coach I've ever had, obviously the manager now, so it definitely gives me a good tie here, and, we'll see what happens with the Dodgers, and it's definitely a possibility I could be back in this uniform.
And it's a young staff, a lot of good young arms that got thrown out there in the heat this past season. That'd be a great job for you to be a mentor as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they broke the record for rookie starters, which is kind of unheard of and really hard to compete when you're doing that if you don't have some guys that have done it before, and I think they're definitely looking for some leadership, and I could definitely provide that. But, I don't know if I'm the best fit for this ball club, and, I also don't know if the Dodgers, want to have me back, so we'll see.
Yeah. World Series going, a couple of former Reds involved in Johnny Cueto and Edinson Volquez. What do you make of those guys against the Mets? A great staff for the Mets.
Yeah, there's so many power arms in the series. You don't really know who's going to come out on top because on any given day, it seems like it's going to be a 2-1 game every night. And, the Mets are looking unbelievably hot. But having a few days off sometimes can change things. And, matchups don't always line up. Sometimes A beats B and B beats C, but A can't beat C. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think the first couple of games will kind of dictate a bit of a tempo. But, it's fun to see Cueto and Volquez out there competing at a level they've never had the opportunity to play at. And also, I can see the maturation in those guys. Edinson Volquez started game 1 of the 2010 playoffs for us against the Phillies. And, you could see his immaturity in that, not being able to handle the excitement and suppress some of those those nerves and going out trying to throw 100 miles an hour in the first inning and just being totally wiped out. But now you see these guys and they understand that it's kind of it's a long road. You get out there, you kind of get into the game. You can see them kind of battling to keep their emotions in check. And, I'm happy for those guys.
Will you watch as a fan, or is that too tough to do? Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of baseball. You know, it never gets old, honestly. The older I've gotten, I think the more I appreciate the game, because you see your friends come and go, especially being, I'm going to be 39 years old this year, and I've seen most of the guys that came up in my era, they've retired now.
Yeah.
And when you see those guys and they come back and you can feel the fact that they would kill to put the uniform on for one more day, it makes you appreciate the game that much more, and you start paying attention to the subtleties of it and appreciating the clubhouse guys more and having interviews and all the things that come along with it. So it's been good.
We've always been a stand-up guy in the locker room, and want to know, the music continues. Tommy John doesn't affect the jamming, does it?
No, I've had a good time jamming. It's been, I had to take my mind somewhere else after being hurt for such a long time, so I just put myself in vacation mode. I've played a lot of music. I've seen a bunch of hockey games and basketball games and watched a lot of baseball and got to travel a bit. And, it's been a good reprieve for me, but I'm definitely looking back to getting on the field.
Bronson, always great seeing you.
Right.
Best of luck. We'd love to see you back in Cincy, man.
Thank you.